Did you know, as a business visitor, you can come to Canada and work without a work permit? Before I answer how is this possible, please follow us on YouTube, enable notifications, and share this video with your friends. To answer this question, first I need to explain that under Section 186 of the Immigration Regulations, or IRPR, certain people may come to Canada and work without a work permit. In fact, under subsection A, it refers to business visitors. But who is a business visitor? To answer this question, you need to look into Section 187 of the same regulations. Under Section 187, we have a generic definition for business visitors and some specific examples of business visitors. So generally speaking, a business visitor is obviously somebody who is coming from another country for business purposes, and that person may get involved working in Canada. However, the source of remuneration for that work is from outside Canada, and the kind of business that they are involved with is mainly outside Canada. But to be more specific, let's look into the three examples Section 187 gives. The first example is somebody who comes to Canada and wants to purchase goods or services from Canadian businesses for the purpose of exporting those services or goods to a foreign company or a foreign government. This person may also get involved with educational piece or training piece of that service or the product that they are buying, which is absolutely okay. The second example are people who work for a company who has a branch inside Canada and a branch or subsidiary outside Canada. This person is working for the outside Canada branch, and they want to come to Canada to either receive training from the Canadian subsidiary or branch or offer training to the Canadian subsidiary or branch. In those situations, this person is considered a business visitor. However, that person is being paid by the outside Canada subsidiary or branch. The third group of people are people who come to Canada to sell products or services to provincial governments, to the federal government, or to Canadian businesses. These people may come to Canada and work, but they are being paid by their own company, and also the services or goods that they are selling this to Canadian companies or governments. They are not selling this to general public. At the end of the day, you need to keep in mind the concept of business visitor as a person who works for a company or a branch of company outside Canada. Their source of remuneration is outside Canada. You may ask how this person may come to Canada. It depends on your nationality. If you are a US citizen, all you need to do is to travel to Canada with an airplane or with your car, but you need to present convincing documents at a port of entry to a border services officer. If you are coming from a country that you are actually exempt from visas to Canada, or if you hold a green card of the United States, in those situations, you need to apply for an ETA or electronic travel authorization to be able to travel to Canada. And of course, like US citizens, at the port of entry, you need to present enough documentation. If you are coming from a country that you need a visa to come to Canada, then you need to apply for a temporary resident visa and upload or present your documents at the time of application. You may ask, what kind of documents? Well, the first thing first is an invitation by a Canadian business. For most business visitors, they need such invitation. It's a formal invitation that you receive from one or more Canadian businesses or governments, and based on that, you can travel to Canada. I have an article about the content of such invitation letters. If you want, you can refer to the link below this video and read that article. On top of that, you need to present a plan both at the time of application for visa or at the port of entry to the officer that what you are going to exactly do in Canada, and convince them that the definition of a business visitor apply to you. When you present those documents to the port of entry officer, they may decide to allow you to stay in Canada for the regular period of 6 months. They sometimes limit your stay to a few days or a few weeks. And in certain cases, if you convince them that you truly need to stay in Canada beyond 6 months, then they will allow you to stay beyond 6 months and they issue you a visitor record. Thank you very much for watching this video. My name is Parsai. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. I've had many business visitors in the past, and I also have written a book called 88 Tips on Immigration to Canada. I teach immigration consulting at Ashton College. Before I let you go, please subscribe to our channel, enable notifications, and share this video with your friends. See you soon.